Hey, good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. And welcome. It is Write It Out Wednesday. It is May 5th, also known as Cinco de Mayo. Happy birthday, Brandy Smiley. She's out there. Today is her birthday. Lots of May babes. I'm a May babe. So shout out to all the May birthday people out there. We are doing it up this month. This is our month. So tonight, I want to come before you because I want to talk about 3 ways to embrace change. There's a lot going on. And for anyone that doesn't know me, I work with writing and time challenged busy professionals, helping them get their stories told and their books published. And I have been writing for well over 40 years. And in this season, I am just loving helping people get their stories told. And since 2019, I have helped a whole 20 people get their ideas published. So I want to welcome you here tonight. If you're joining me for the first time, please click like and share with other people that you know that might be interested in writing a book. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. How's that house coming along? Have you finished furnishing it? You're still shopping? So anyway, we are talking tonight about 3 ways to embrace change. And I'm not going to be before you long. Now, last week I sent out an email that talked about being ready to travel. And I am definitely ready to travel. This is always a month where I am traveling. So fortunately, I've been able to arrange something so that I can get away and pull off the road for a second to kind of refresh and reset. But for many people, making plans to travel or do something always reveals what our habits are, okay? That it also shows that we are creatures of habit. And what I mean is by that is that, we do what we know, we do what's comfortable, we do what we think will work. We often go to the same places, eat the same foods, hang out with the same people. And so those are those kind of creature of habit things that we do. They're comfortable, we're familiar with it, it works for us. Why change? However, the thing about why change is that, in order to grow, you have to change. Like there are things that you have to let go of, things you have to stop doing, things you have to start doing even, things you need to learn, things you need to unlearn, which is definitely something that's happening in this season of my life about unlearning some things that, you didn't even know. You're like, wow, like how was it that I was working in that paradigm when that's so not what I need to be doing? But anyway, that's me. We're here talking to you tonight. And so, for those of you, it's like, those things that keep you comfortable, but it also keeps you where you are. It doesn't allow you to move forward. And shout out to Brenda. So she just had to make a major change. She left the big city of New York and she's now in Georgia. And it's like, that had to be a lot, but you embraced it. You're, settling in, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing for you because that's a huge change. But you're like, I'm going to do this. And you did. And so I celebrate you. I honor you for really making that move because it's huge. Particularly, after a certain age, people really don't want to do anything different. But you've moved to a whole nother part of the country, and it's like, and I just celebrate that. I think it's amazing. So, like I was saying, tonight, I want to share with you 3 ways that we can embrace change. And you're still shopping. That's right. Keep it up. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. How's it going on the left coast? You doing good? What are you doing with the working at home woman's guy going on there? You be cooking great things and doing all kinds of wonderful things. So we've got 2 authors on the online right now with me. So shout out to these authors. They, one almost done and one who is completed. She's actually a multi-author. So shout out to these ladies tonight. And so, like I was saying, so we're going to talk tonight about 3 ways to embrace change. Now, one of the ways to embrace change is number 1, don't get discouraged. Okay. Why am I saying that? It's because sometimes when what we aren't doing isn't working, we can get discouraged, we can get disheartened, or we can just plain give up. It's like we've tried something, we're doing something, we're like, this is not working. But sometimes it's not working because you don't understand parts of it. It's like I've had to kind of take on some new platforms to use online, particularly, with everyone being online, that a lot of things are getting jammed up, or they're shifting the metrics of it. You have to upgrade, you have to do different things. And so you have to keep up with it. And then I'm having to bring in other people to support me because the business is growing, which is a good thing. But in order for the growth to be in a good way, you have to bring in other people who can do things that you cannot do, or that you don't have time to do, or your time needs to be put towards something else. And so one of the things I like to say, that when, there are things that come up that, you feel like you can't, get done, or it's disheartening you. You're like, oh my God, I can't take it. The thing is, pull back and just remember that there is always a solution to every problem. Okay, there's always a solution to every problem. And sometimes the answer is in you. You just have to pull back. It's like, make a list. Like, what is the issue? What are the things that are bothering you? What are the things that are getting in the way? And what is an answer for that? Like, I've taught classes in my church, and sometimes it's like, okay, what's the problem? What's the scripture that you can put, next to that answers that problem? So in the same way, it's like, what is the problem that's going on in your life? Do you need new technology? Okay, well, what technology is out there that can solve that problem? Do you need a new computer? Is it because you've maxed out the space on yours? Or do you need to delete like 8,000 documents that you'll never use? Or did you download a lot of things that's taken up a lot of space? That, you have to kind of pull back so you can say, hey, what is the problem? Is it that you're dealing with distractions all day long, and so you're not able to get done what you need? How can you take care of those distractions early in the day, so that as writers, you have time to write later? Because if your day is filled with emails and phone calls and Zoom this and Zoom that, and you just never have time to get to the thing that you really want to do, then how can you alleviate some of those things that are getting in the way? So rather than get frustrated, rather than get, discouraged or just throw in the towel, it's like, always know that there is a solution to every problem. Now, that was number one. Number two, don't take no for a final answer. Okay, don't take no for a final answer. Now, there are some things in which, the no is no is no. It's like, there's some things we don't even have to discuss, okay? Certain relationships, no. Certain things happen, no, we're not doing that. But there are other things where the no might just be someone's not available right now, that is not the right person to support you, or that you need to connect to, And the thing about it is, that the no sometimes is it's about, the availability of things. But just know that, there's always someone available to support you or help you, or that you need to connect to, who is available. It's like, just because some person said no here doesn't mean it's a total no everywhere. You just have to be willing to maybe get out of that comfort zone, get out of that box. Don't get discouraged. Know there's a solution to every problem, and try something different. Okay. So that no over there may not mean no here. Okay, maybe that speaking engagement's not going to work out for you. It's like, that's not, they're not in that field. That's not their subject matter area, whatever. So look to see where is, where can you position your book? There are plenty of blogs out here. There are plenty of podcasts and other avenues where you can showcase what you have, what you're doing, your story. It's like, what's the best place for it? Is it for people your age? Is it people in your community? Is it in the arts? Is it writing clubs? Is it, speaking at an engagement? What's going on in your town? Oftentimes small towns or the city you live in have plenty of programs and things where you can put your work out, where you can showcase what you do, that you just never take advantage of. It's like, they're always looking to see, okay, how can we fill our calendars? It's the same thing with the news. The news, they, that you hear the same news over and over again all day long. That means they need to fill those spaces. So if you have a great story, if you have a great book that's, in tune with different things that's going on in the world, or that's very unique, it's like, pitch it. Pitch it to the media, pitch it to your community, organization, your city, your town, the administrative staff there. They're always looking for something. They want to fill their newsletters, so let them know, hey, I got a book out here. or join me for my virtual book launch. It's like people are always looking to fill their calendars with things, even those people who are just interested and they want to be around other people who are doing what they do. So keep in mind, even if someone says no in this arena, doesn't mean that it's a total no in all arenas, okay? So that's number 2. So number 1 was don't get discouraged. There's a solution for every problem. Number 2, don't take no for a final answer. There's always someone else that can help you. And then 3, that new doesn't mean hard, okay? New or doesn't have to mean hard, all right? Because in life, whenever we change things, we're talking about 3 ways to embrace change tonight. So whenever we change something, like, kids changing school, going from physical school to virtual homeschool, and now a lot of kids are going back to the physical school, okay? So, or whether you change neighborhoods, like we are just sharing about Brenda, you change relationships, or a big one, you change your thinking patterns, you change how you feel and think about something, that whenever those things happen, there is a period of adjustment. That it's not going to be automatic, that, it's sort of like, when the new year change is over, that you're still writing the old year. I know it happened in the 90s when we switched over to 2000s. It's like people still kept writing 1999, but then even when you're in the 2000s, 2010, 2021, you still, do things before. You move, you drive to the old street, like, oh God, I don't even live here anymore. Brenda, you can't do that. But, other parts of your life, it's like, in particular, you're changing your diet, your food, what you eat. It's like going to the grocery store. You now have to look at just the food that's along the outside aisles, not the inside aisles. For instance, like the fresh food and fresh dairy and things like that are on the outside, of the grocery store. Did you know that? And the things that are in boxes and cans and containers and processed foods are on the inside aisles. So all the fresh food, meat, milk, cheese, eggs, all that, it's on the outside, sides of the store. So when you're changing your diet, you often need to stay along the outside and not go inside, and that can be a big change for people if buying canned goods is just part of your, your normal shopping. And so having to, eat more fresh food, eat more things that are alive or green or things that grow out the ground, not only will you have to change where you shop, but you have to change how you cook it. Because if you don't cook it or eat it, or, even if you eat it raw quickly, then it goes bad very quickly. So being able to, make changes, there is an adjustment period. But just because you have to do something differently, just because there is an adjustment, doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just unfamiliar. So many times, like even in a relationship, it's like, you were in a relationship with this person for a while and it ended or whatever, or even a friendship or something, and now you meet someone else. It's like, you got to learn that person. They're new. They're different. They're not the same person as that other person. This is a different person. They may like different things, and so when you're in a relationship, that you are learning about a new person differently than, say, someone else. So being able to, make that adjustment and embrace the change, and not look at it like, oh God, this is too hard, I'm not doing this. It's like everything new is just unfamiliar, okay? It doesn't have to be hard, it's just unfamiliar. And in the same way that we talked about being creatures of habit, pretty soon that can become something that you get used to, and then it becomes habitual. You're like, oh, so-and-so, oh yeah, I eat, spirulina or whatever, these kind of smoothies all the time, until, now it's a normal thing, and you're not resisting or rejecting it because it's new, but you're embracing it because you've had that adjustment period, and that you're understanding that in every part of our life, there's an adjustment. It's like if you've never had a kid, and you get a baby, that's a big adjustment. If you've only lived in apartments and you buy a house, one of the biggest adjustments is that you got to take care of stuff now. You can't call the super and be like, hey, my light's out, the water's leaking. It's like, you got to take care of it. You got to know who the plumber is and different things like that. And so making those adjustments and being open, being willing, being flexible, being pliable, because the more that we have some give in our life to be able to embrace the changes that are coming, the better able we are able to make those adjustments in our writing, with characters, because sometimes, you know, you can have this set mindset about this. I know exactly the story I'm writing. But then as you go along, it's like, wow, this story's changing a little bit. Maybe I need to go a different direction. And the thing is, the story will tell you what it's saying. You know, if you kind of release yourself, your way that this has to be, you know, it's great to have an idea. We do outlines to make sure that we have a plan, you know, but as you're working that plan, you know, just, you know, allow the flow to take place, because sometimes it's a good flow. It's a good thing that you know, that you have to shift a little bit, you know, so shift and adjust, you know, shift and adjust, because a lot of times we need that. You know, we need that flexibility. We need that pliability in our writing, in our life, in our relationships, and all the things that we do. And so that's what I have for you today, guys. I thank you for joining me. So we're talking about 3 ways to embrace change, you know, in every part of our life, that there's going to be something that's going to change, you know, because if it's not changing, it's not growing. You know, if a baby stays a baby, they're not growing. You're going to take it to the doctor. What's wrong with my baby? They're not growing. In the same way with you, are you growing? You know, are you learning new things? Are you understanding yourself in a better way? I have a client who's writing a book. I won't give away the title, but it's about how she's, you know, figuring out herself. And so one of the things, you know, that she's learning is like, these are the things I like. These are the things I don't like. This is what works for me. This doesn't work for me. And being true to who you are, because so many times that we put up a facade, that we do things. Yes, change is good. You know, we put up a facade, we do different things for the benefit of other people or to accommodate other people, while it's, you know, being a disservice to ourselves. So, you know, you can go out your way for other people, but just make sure you're not doing it and sacrificing so much of yourself that there's nothing left. And so that's the thing, okay? It's like, embrace change, but, you know, make sure it's in the direction that your life needs to go. It's like knowing what your purpose is, knowing like, this is where I'm going, like, this is who I am, and following that path, because it's going to be unique to you. You know, it may look like someone else's for a minute, but, you know, if you pull back, you'll see that your path is much more just for you, you know, and knowing what you're here to do, knowing why you're here, will help you tell your stories much better. So I'm Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. I work with writing and time challenge clients, helping them get their stories told and their books published. And if you want to get a book done this year, I will put a link down below that you can connect with me. And then stay tuned. In this month, I think, what is it, the 19th, I'm going to do a Q&A for those people who've been saying they want to write a book, who've been talking about, but you still got questions. You're not sure if you want to take the webinar. You're not sure if you want to take a course or connect with me. I will answer your questions on May 19th. I'm going to send out a Zoom link, so you have to register. And then I'm going to do it twice that day. I'm going to be in a beautiful place, so I'll be a little more relaxed. Won't have all kinds of stuff around me. I'll have blue skies around me. And so we'll just take your questions and find out what it is, you know, what's stopping you, what's the block, what's the hindrance that's keeping you from moving forward and writing your book. So I'll be posting different things in the days to come so that you can register. And so I will see you soon. Hey, thank you, Stephanie. And so again, if you know someone that, you know, you think, or they've been talking about writing a book, you know, share this video with them and share the link down below. And like I said, I'll be posting on this page and on my personal page for just people who are interested in writing a book. They know, like, they keep saying, I'm going to write a book. I know I said I'm going to write a book. This is the year. Okay, let's get your questions answered. Let's stop all the madness and let's move you forward, because change is good, right? We're going to embrace change this year. All right. So I will see you next time on Write It Out Wednesday. Until then, be safe, be strong, be productive, and always be you. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.